Operating in the Courts of Heaven by Robert Henderson, continuing chapter 4. If the devil didn't stop him, Peter would do massive damage to his empire and establish the kingdom of God. Satan therefore had to have a scheme to stop Peter if he could. His plan was to bring him to court and put him on trial. The reason for this was to disqualify Peter legally from what was written in his book. If Satan could disqualify Peter through accusation in court, he could stop the agenda of God for the earth. We must realize that Satan is an accuser. We must realize that Satan is an accuser. We must realize that Satan is an accuser. Revelation 12:10-11 shows that Satan is accusing us day and night. Then I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, "Now salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ have come, for the accuser of our brethren, who accused them before our God day and night, has been cast down. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they did not love their lives to the death." Revelation 12:10-11. Satan is before the throne of God, seeking to present evidence in the courts as to why we are disqualified from what is in our books. He wants to stop us at any cost from stepping into destinies written about us in our books. He wants to stop us at any cost from stepping into the destinies written about us in our books. He wants to stop us at any cost from stepping into the destinies written about us in our books. It is our job to answer these accusations and silence them, so that God has the legal right to grant us what is written in our books. When this occurs, we fulfill our life's destiny and God's kingdom purposes are done. The only way the devil can stop us from fulfilling what is in the books is through accusation. The only way the devil can stop us from fulfilling what is in the books is through accusation. That was the tactic he used against Peter. It is a tactic that he used against Job. Job 1:6-12 shows his activity in the courts of heaven. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came along. And the Lord said to Satan, "From where do you come?" So Satan answered the Lord and said, "From going to and fro on the earth, and from walking back and forth on it." Then the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on the earth, a blameless and upright man, one who fears God and shuns evil?" So Satan answered the Lord and said, "Does Job fear God for nothing? Have you not made a hedge around him, around his household, and around all that he has on every side? You have blessed the work of his hands, and his possessions have increased in the land. But now stretch out your hand and touch all that he has, and he will surely curse you to your face." And the Lord said to Satan, "Behold, all that he has is in your power. Only do not lay a hand on his person." So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord. Job 1:6-12. Satan brings accusations against Job. He accuses Job of serving God with impure motives. As a result of this accusation, Job is thrown into devastation. The Lord as judge allows the devil to operate against Job. I don't have all the answers as to why this was allowed by God, but clearly the devil brought enough accusations against Job that God legally allowed the persecution to occur. Perhaps there was no one to answer the accusations brought against Job. This was prior to the cross of Jesus, and there was not yet an intercessor or one to stand on Job's behalf. Regardless, it is clear that the tribulation of Job was the result of the accusation of Satan. It is interesting that the accusation that Satan brought against Job was concerning his motives of serving God. It wasn't about a personal sin or a sin in his lineage or a family line. The accusation was that Job only served God because God is a hedge about him and he couldn't be touched. Satan's lambasting of Job was that if life wasn't good, Job wouldn't serve God. Wow. The accusation was concerning impure motives. In other words, we might not just do the right things, we must do the right things for the right reasons. This is why we must consistently allow the Lord to judge the motives and intents of our hearts. We must cry out with the psalmist, "Search me, O God, and see if there be any wicked ways in me." Psalm 139:23-24. When we do, we take away from the devil any potential realms of accusation he could use against us. But we must also realize that Job was rewarded in the end with a double portion. Job 42:10 shows that God in his justice restored Job's fortunes, and the Lord restored Job's losses when he prayed for his friends. Indeed, the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. Job 42:10. Restoration is always a result of legal activity in the courts of heaven. God decreed a double portion restoration for all Job has suffered. Job has to first pray for the friends who had accused him during his troubles rather than stand with him. It is interesting that when Job prayed for his friends, he granted the courts of heaven the legal right to restore his fortunes. How often are we not getting our restoration because we will not forgive and release? When Job followed through